All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're live on Zoom. We're good. Good to see everybody. Hey, we're continuing with think. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I got to do this. Where'd it go? Oh, I used it someplace else. Hang on just a second. Gotta get my Instagram going. So, anybody have any questions or comments while I'm setting something else up here about Think and Grow Rich? What we've been covering so far. Anybody seeing how it applies to your daily life? Pretty powerful. I've got a
I'll have a story for you just for me to come home. It's going to be a couple of minutes, so somebody can go.
okay.
Go ahead.
No
I
worries.
have an amazing story for you. This is going to be wonderful.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Let me get on to Instagram here. And where's Instagram? Oh, it's in my social media file. There you are. Go live. Live. And not used to going live on Instagram. It's been a while. I mean, I know I did it yesterday. Angle this down. Cool. All right. Good morning, Instagram. Okay, so we're on specialized knowledge. And specialized knowledge is kind of key. We're on page 130 of this book, Think and Grow Rich. Right. I got this off of Amazon. So good to see everybody here. Now, the question is this. In your business, in what you are about to go do, what is the specialized knowledge that you're required? Is understanding your comp plan specialized knowledge? I'd say no. If you could Google it, it's usually not specialized knowledge. What I mean by that is that specialized knowledge is that knowledge which they come to you for. So if I can Google the income, the compensation plan, or I can Google the ingredients, what makes it different is how you decide to put the plan in place so it makes sense for them. All right. Organized power is the ability to focus and move forward at a pace that brings power to your life. So specialized knowledge, I'm in most of our cases, if we're in sales, the transference of enthusiasm, for most of us, specialized knowledge is the understanding of the human mind, understanding of how somebody takes rejection, how somebody takes edification, how somebody takes recognition, how somebody needs to be motivated, needs to be moved. So I've got here the idea of starting at the bottom and working one's way up may appear to be sound, but a major objection to it is too many of those who begin at the bottom never manage to lift their heads high enough to be seen by opportunity. They remain at the bottom. It should be remembered also that the outlook from the bottom is not so very bright or encouraging. It has a tendency to kill ambition. Hey, Roxy, good morning. We call it getting into a rut. You know the difference between a grave and a rut? A rut is a grave with the ends kicked off. It's tough to get out of there. We call it getting into a rut, which means that we accept our fate because we form the habit of daily routine, a habit that finally becomes so strong we cease to try to throw it off. And another reason why it pays to start one or two steps above the bottom. By doing so, one forms the habit of looking around, observing how others get ahead, and seeing opportunity, embracing it without hesitation. Starting at the bottom doesn't necessarily mean good morning, everybody. Starting at the bottom doesn't necessarily mean Peggy's here again from Singapore. Is that Kevin? Hey, brother. Good morning. The thing is that there's a lot of people who start at the bottom who don't know they're starting. They don't recognize that this is the place that they can move up from, they can start up from. And when it says you're being seen by your opportunity, I'm doing a little personal test for myself, right? I hear how people say, oh, use social media, do this, do that, do this. Well, I've kind of had some powerful success in my life, and I've done some things, and I've reached a certain stage in my capabilities and capacities. And what I'm doing is over the course of the next 29 days, going out to put out 400 and I can't do the math, 480 more pieces of content. I put out 20 yesterday, and it's quite interesting. Now, it's not that I gained a whole bunch of new followers. Some of the platforms I've never been on, and they just created an account yesterday and started with them. My intention is to bring people into my mentoring program. That's the highest intention. So if I'm looking to be seen by my opportunity, when I go out and I present this content, when I go out and have these conversations, the conversation is going to be based on that being the end goal. There's other steps they can have that are a part of it. The ultimate goal is become a mentoring student and come on out to the ranch for some live events. That's the key. So that's what it means by being seen by my opportunity. My opportunity that I'm good at is to mentor and coach people to have more of what they want and less of what they don't. Does that make sense? So what is your definite major purpose? What is your legacy kind of idea? That's the question you got to ask yourself. What is that thing you want to be remembered for? If they put your name at the bottom of a statue, if they put your identity at the bottom of the statue, what would that be? Joyful, happy, leadership, grumpy, almost always had to, they knew better. You know, the most dangerous thing to say into your brain is, I already know that. Yeah, I know that. I know that. Oh my gosh, I know that. Because when you know that, the level of frustration that a lot of times you say, I know that, the level of frustration is your brain is saying, then why do we need to bother? It literally shuts off its capability and capacity to learn the content necessary for you to reach the next level. That's the crazy thing. It's literally a crazy statement. So, some stuff. Wouldn't it make sense to start 2 or 3 rungs above the bottom? Do you know where the bottom is? If you know that you're a couple of rungs above, then that's outstanding. The question then becomes, what do you do different? How do you keep moving up? Jim Rohn said, you want to add more value? He said, income is like a ladder. I wonder where he got that from. I wonder if he read Think and Grow Rich. You think Jim Rohn read Think and Grow Rich? I'm thinking maybe he did. Jim Rohn was a word philosopher, a business philosopher. And here it says, start 1 or 2 rungs, 2 or 3 rungs above the bottom. Jim Rohn says income is just like a ladder. You want more income, you got to climb higher on the ladder. How do you climb the ladder? You add more value. There's some great stories here of people who have had specialized knowledge. I would encourage you to read those. It's difficult to say whether Mr. Andrews or Mr. Halpin is more deserving of a eulogy, for the reason that they both showed evidence of having an abundance of that very rare quality known as imagination. When we talk about visualization, when we talk about desire, when we talk about faith, when we talk about saying what you're about to go do with your activities in your plan, A lot of us say, well, I can't visualize. It's hard for me to visualize. I don't know how to visualize. It's tough. And so now the question becomes, why? Why is it tough to visualize the thing that you want? Why is it tough to visualize the dreams that you want? Because of your imagination, right? If I were to ask you to close your eyes, now don't do this if you're driving or operating heavy equipment or doing any brain surgery. Don't close your eyes. If you can do it safely, if you closed your eyes and I were to ask you, can you see an image of your goal? I can. When I close my eyes, I can see the ranch 3 years from now, 2 years from now. Because it's coming together, because I had a 5-year plan when we moved to the ranch here of what I want it to look like. So my point is, as soon as I close my eyes thinking about the ranch, I can see all of the images. Can you see the images for your goals, your dreams? And the point is that when you visualize, do you add your senses? Do you add taste, touch, sound, smell, hearing? Do you add all of those senses inside of your visualization? I can hear the sheep. We raise Shetland sheep. We're the fourth largest Shetland sheep farm in all of Arkansas. You've got to ask yourself, wow, well, that must not be a very popular sheep in Arkansas. It's not. It's they're a peculiar little breed. My point is that now, when I first started visualizing the ranch, sheep weren't on it. Sheep were not on it. They are now on it. They're now part of the visualization. They got added in. So my point is maybe specialized knowledge for your business, for your success, is understanding how to visualize. Somebody said goal setting and visualization works. Absolutely, 100%. It can't not. Right? What you think about and think about, you bring about. So, going on to more pages. You can read all of these. If one person possessed all the abilities, he might carry on the business alone until it outgrew him. I'm just looking at some of the stuff I have underlined. There's no fixed price for sound ideas. Back of all ideas is specialized knowledge. Unfortunately, those who do not find riches in abundance, specialized knowledge is more abundant and more easily acquired than ideas. Because of this very truth, there is a universal demand for ever-increasing opportunity for a person capable. Send some smiles out here. Because of this very truth, there is a universal demand and an ever-increasing opportunity for the person capable of helping men and women to sell their personal services advantageously. Capability means imagination, the one quality needed to combine specialized knowledge with ideas in the form of organized plans designed to yield riches. So specialized knowledge, that's the key. That's when you understand how valuable you knowing what people want, knowing how to read people, understand people, that's specialized knowledge. Knowing your compensation plan, knowing how to get to work, knowing how to get to work when there's a detour, that's kind of specialized knowledge. Knowing how to make your significant other happy when they're frustrated is specialized knowledge. This isn't about facts. Specialized knowledge isn't about facts. There's facts out there. Understanding if you activate the amygdala in the brain, you shut down the prefrontal cortex by 25%. You make people 25% less smart. 25% less smart if you activate their amygdala. Do you know how easy it is to activate somebody's amygdala in today's stressful world? How many times, listen, drop a P in the chat if this has ever happened. Listen carefully. You're talking to somebody and their phone rings and their whole body changes. Drop a P in the chat if you've ever been talking to somebody and their phone rings. Their phone is right here. It's just off to the side of the table, and you're talking to them, and you're having your one-on-one, and you're doing your conversation, and all of a sudden, their phone rings, and their whole body changes. You ever have that happen? And if that happened, that's a phenomenon known as neuroencoding. I'm a neuroencoding trained specialist in how to unwire some of the neuroencoding things you have in your life. You looked at that and you went, ugh, and they couldn't hear. That activated their amygdala. It's the phone ringing on a table at Starbucks or at a coffee shop. How did that make them so frightened that they became 25% less smart? That's understanding the brain. Well, Sean, what do you do with that? How would you do with that? Well, their phone rings and this, you got to take a breath back because they're already in a stressful situation with you because you're talking to them about something they've never had, success. And you're talking to them about something they've never had, success, and then saying they got to do something they've never done, stress, and do something they never done makes them feel a way they never felt. So they were stressed already. And then that phone rings, it pops up on the screen on vibrate. And you say, do you need to get that? No, it's not important. Oh, it's not important, but it is crushing your thought process and capability. Does that make sense? So understanding maybe your specialized knowledge is to realize when people get stressed, you probably might want to update or upgrade or adapt your presentation to them. Those are the things I teach people. So I'm going to wait to go on to imagination till tomorrow. It's the 5th step towards riches. I'm just going to look at some of the stuff I have underlined. There's two forms of imagination. There's synthetic. Add effects using hand gestures. What the heck is that? Okay, that's technology I probably don't need to think about right now. So chapter 6 is imagination, the workshop of the mind inside of Think and Grow Rich. Here's a couple of things. There must be some activity out there on the ranch if you hear the dogs barking. There's two kinds of imagination, synthetic imagination and creative imagination. You got to ask yourself, which one of those is going to best serve you? A combination might. Synthetic is through this faculty, one may arrange old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combinations. This faculty creates nothing. This faculty creates nothing. Creative imagination is the one that has direct communication with infinite intelligence. And we're reading Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich. And that's going to be chapter 6 starting tomorrow. So thank you, everybody who's been participating with me in the 500-piece challenge inside of for social media. That's something that there's no challenge. There's no big internet person who's doing it or recommended it. It's just something I'm doing. Farm boy from Ohio. I'm going to go out and put out 500 pieces of content. I'm just tracking stuff, right? So I'm tracking stuff. I'm using my creative imagination to go put stuff out there. Good morning. So question is what are you going to do today? What specialized knowledge can you acquire today? Where do most people, when they reject your business opportunity, your conversation, when you are selling something to somebody, where do they reject it? How do they reject it? What is the form in which they reject it? Do they say, I don't have time? Do they say, I don't have money? That's true, and yet it's not true. I don't have time, I don't have money. What they're really saying is I don't see the value for me. I don't see the ROI, the return on investment for me by doing that new thing to get a better return than I'm currently getting. They don't say that. They just say, I don't have money. So maybe specialized knowledge would be to ask money for what? So you assume when they say they don't have money, they don't want to buy your business. Oh, well, you got a brand new iPhone, you got a brand new car, and you got all this stuff, and you blah, blah, blah. Maybe they don't have money. Maybe they're not good. Maybe they don't handle money well. Maybe they don't know how to save. Maybe they have no ability to have discipline over their money. Maybe they don't have money. But that's not that they can't get money. When somebody says, I don't have money, they're saying, I don't know how to get the money to buy your business. That's what they're really saying. if your business has value. So, all of that said, I'm going to end here on Instagram. I appreciate you. Again, you're going to see more and more of me on a regular basis between me and going up and talking to the sheep and having conversations with Anura, who's, I don't like to have favorites, but by far she's my favorite. She's our littlest sheep. She was born without a tail, and she's just this little tiniest peanut because she was kind of squished by her big brother in the womb. And so yeah, she's special. She's just this little peanut and loves chips, loves Tostitos. So anyways, that's a whole nother story. All right, Instagram, I love you tons. I'm gonna go have some conversations with my mastermind group inside my Zoom room. And if you'd like to join us there, you can join us there at unlearnme.live. Unlearnme.live. And when you scroll down past a couple of the links that take you to the different pages, top left-hand corner is the 6 a.m. call, and that'll get you the link to the Zoom. I love you tons, Instagram. I'll see you where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now. And now, and share. All right. Chapter 5. Specialized knowledge, Think and Grow Rich. Share. There we go. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Hey, AJ, go ahead.
Hey, finally got home. I got a hell of a story to tell you.
Cool.
And we got a special guest on today. We got my
Awesome.
lady over here.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. Good
Special
morning.
guest. So what happened last night was very interesting. I had a conversation with this guy, friend of mine, Michael. I might have told you he lives in the suburbs. Went to his place. We kind of had a guys talk. There were no women around. His lady was out there, out and about. My lady was out and about, and we spoke about some very interesting things. And I mean, talk about Think and Grow Rich. I spoke to him last night. I think I did a lot of the talking because I just wanted to kind of just give out as much information as I could.
Yep.
Because I knew, just as you knew back in the day, that I'm not gonna understand any of it.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I did aim for and what I hopefully achieved is that I put a worm inside. I placed a worm inside so that hopefully over the next couple of days, couple of weeks, he starts thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, in one line, because we were sitting at his place, his dad was in there, he was watching soccer or something, or basketball, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, we spoke, and at one point he told me that what he thinks, whatever he does, is not good enough.
Mm.
Oh, ain't that fascinating?
And you're right. Thinking makes it so.
And then his dad got up because we were talking about mowing the lawn or whatever. His dad got up and he said to him, "Yeah, well, you did our lawn, but you didn't do the neighbors because the neighbor is there, some kind of a distant family, some kind of a cousin."
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned over to me, Michael, and he said, "You see what I'm talking about?" And I learned in that one line about him more than what I learned over the last decade that we've known each other. Because right now I know exactly what's been wired, I mean, hardwired into him for the past 23 years. And we talked about some interesting stuff at one point, actually, multiple points, multiple occasions. His eyes got watery, stuff like that. You know, he did not have this conversation ever. He never had a conversation like this before.
Yep.
And I told him, you know, most people haven't. So you're a good company. Most people haven't. Most people don't think. They don't have goals. They don't know what they're doing. They would, as my old man says, just convert oxygen into CO2 probably. That's their life purpose. And they wouldn't do anything about anything pretty much. And I told him, when you start thinking, when you sit down, I gave him some material, obviously, that we did together. I gave him some material from Bob, from Tony, from Jim. for him to listen to. And I said, I want you to sit down and just think above the current circumstance. You're in the suburbs, you live with your parents, your lady lives with all of you. You got this job that you hate. He is into telecom, and he does kind of he installs telecom for people, right? So the internet and TV and everything. He works for the phone company basically. And I said I want you to go above this. Don't think about how you hate your job and you make $10 per installation or this and that. You don't live with your parents, you don't live with your lady, you do this and that. I want you to just put yourself above and think about what you would really want. And at this point the conversation got tough because he started yawning, he started getting all nervous, his eyes got watery, and I understood in that point in time that he never ever thought about what he really wants to do. So I actually kind of got to play you last night. I was kind of this Mr. Miyagi out there. I was giving him knowledge and whatever, and it was such a wholesome moment, man. I gotta say, it was so good. At one point, he said, "Wow, man, I mean, you are just a billion miles away from everybody I know in terms of thinking." And I said, "It's just such a small shift that once you start going into it, it's gonna be so effortless, and a lot of pressure is going to come off. Initially, it's going to be a roller coaster. That's for sure. It's going to have a lot of ups and downs. You're going to have a lot of bad episodes and stuff like that. However, pretty soon there will come a time where you are going to cross over the line, and you're going to get to the other side, and life is just going to be amazing. And we kind of wrapped it up there. I saw he was I mean, he was mentally drained. And I was mentally drained, by the way, as well. I mean, I can't remember how I got home. I mean, I was so tired driving back home. So I mean, could barely see the road. I was so mentally drained, and he was. So that's real interesting. I want to share that with you.
Well, I love it. A couple of things. One, the reason you were tired is because you were picking up so much on what he was feeling. You really weren't having to think a whole lot. You know the content, you know the words. So
Yeah.
what happens is in a mentorship relationship is that in the beginning, or when somebody says they're a mentor, they wind up being a coach, and a coach will really want you to succeed. In network marketing, we'll buy stuff for people, we'll do the work for them, we'll catch up with them, and we'll make sure that we'll motivate them, we'll do everything. And what happens is that the reason that you've got to motivate, the reason that you got to check in, the reason that you got to buy their is because you haven't lit the spark in their dreams yet. So you did great. You got them thinking. The good news is you're tired. Most people who are mentors never get tired. They never experience this because they're not mentoring. They're really not picking up on their signal. So you picked up on their signal. What you'll learn is that when that signal starts to come, and since you're an open vessel, when you're mentoring, you let it all come in, and then you picked up his energy. He didn't have any place to put it. What you'll learn is as you begin to do that, you'll feel that energy start to come to you, and you'll not block it. You'll ask a question to shift it. Right? So when you ask, so what do you want? And they become very uncomfortable. You know, a lot of times and this is where we have to tell our story. I remember when I got asked that question. You're taking it quite calmly compared to me. It's how do we elevate them in their discomfort so that A, they know it's real, B, it's got to happen, and C, that it's the starting point. When somebody does that and they said, you're a million miles away from anybody I know, I started in the seat you're in. If you wanted to go a million miles away from where everybody is, wouldn't it be neat to find somebody who's already taken the path? I really respect and honor you, and I want you to be on that path with me. So that's the conversation. And you learn this through experience, right? You said it was kind of like I learned in one sentence Isn't that powerful to learn in one sentence how somebody's been wired? When we
Yeah.
talk about rapport, rapport is being able to be in touch with somebody, to be in sync with somebody. Well, that doesn't mean that you both like sushi or sashimi or whatever it is, or you like filet mignon. Rapport is, can you understand where they are, and can you go on a deep dive with them and not lose your own capability or capacity? You heard in an instant how his life has been wired. That's deep rapport. You know that came from childhood, it came from teenage, it came from young adulthood. So congratulations on that. That's significant. And what you'll learn is over time, the next time you have a conversation, because you'll be so intently involved in wanting to share and give and guide. There's a difference between giving and guiding. And when you guide, you give them the directions, they got to take the step, and you can only guide them to the next step they're willing to take. If they're not willing to take that step, you cannot guide them any farther based upon your skills and capabilities or capacities, because you don't need to go lift the weights for them. You sent me information to learn about a project we're working on. I looked at it. I haven't looked at it again. Things got crazy here yesterday, but you can't lift it. The fact that you know it doesn't mean that I know it. I got to go lift my own weights. So congratulations on that.
It was real interesting. He said at one point that he's very much worried about what people think. Talk about addiction to approval right there. And I didn't jump in. I said, okay, tell me more about that. Now, this guy, he was going on a business venture that ended up not working. They wanted to go, those things. Where are those things? Those specialized mushrooms, truffles.
Okay, yeah.
They wanted to go into the truffle business. So he has one of those, and I know you know a thing about this or two. He has those dogs that go hunting,
Yep.
right? And apparently, it's very easy for you to teach these dogs that usually go hunting for animals or whatever to go hunting for truffles.
Yep.
Apparently, they had this guy that could set them up with a distributor, a buyer, etc. Things did not work out. Now, mind you, this guy he went on and told everybody he's going to go into the truffle bit. I mean, everybody and their mother, everybody knew about this. Things ended up not working out, and he was on a job just a couple of weeks back, and he saw a former colleague from the phone company, and the guy asked them, "Hey, what happened with your truffle business?" Now he tells me the story as he's coming up to this point in the story. He's getting very uncomfortable. He's just getting nervous. And I said, "What are you getting nervous for?" And he said, "Well, I told them I just made up this story that it didn't work out because this and that." He was ashamed that the story didn't work out, that the business didn't work out. And I told him, "Here's an upgrade." Kind of played as GM there. "Here's an upgrade." I said, "There's only two possible ways how that interaction could have came to an end, right? The first way is the guy wished you well and he was sincerely interested in what happened because he wants good for you. So that's good. The other way how this could have ended is that the guy asked you about your truffle business, hoping it wasn't going to work, so that he will think that he is okay because you didn't succeed, which is also good for you because it has nothing to do with you, and it only has to do with this guy's self-image or whatever." And as I told him this, he kind of leaned back and his eyes got watery again. He was like, "God damn." He said a couple of other things. I'm not going to say that on here, but let's just say that he said, "God damn, that wasn't, I would never think about that." And I said, "I wouldn't have ever think about that ever myself if it weren't for the work I do with Sean." And then I proceeded to tell them that as he goes on this trip, he's going to learn about a lot about himself, which means he's going to learn about a lot about other people, which is just going to take so much pressure off of him because now you know that every single encounter you have on a daily basis family, friends, acquaintances, business partners, work colleagues, whatever, all of them are going to come to you with their own version of something. And when you understand that, you really don't got a lot of effort to put in because there's no room for you to put in your effort. Just as you told me, I sent you the material, I do what's up to me. Now it's your job to do it and then give me your feedback. Just the same as you give me a task as my mentor, I do the work or I don't. Now, maybe sometimes you'll ask, I gave you work to do, you got work to do. And I said, yes, sir, I'll do it. And then I do it. Maybe I need a reminder, maybe whatever happened. Overall, I'm going to do the work and it's just going to become easier. And he was like, God damn, man, I never thought about this. And I said, welcome to the real world, buddy. So that was such a wholesome moment that I owe to the work that we do. And I want to salute you and thank you for that.
It's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
Oh man, it was as much as tired as I was last night driving back home because I mean he's probably 45 minutes away. You got the freeway, you got the motorway over there, you got the country roads, I mean the whole deal. And as tired as I was driving back home, I was like, God damn, man, I just had my real first SGM appearance out there. And it was so great. It was so wholesome. It was just amazing. So,
So one of the things, so here's specialized knowledge for you. Understanding the brain. There's a set of neural connectors. There's a neural network inside of his brain that remembers his story. And you took him on some pretty new pathways in his mind, things he never thought about. At that moment, when the body is in fight or flight, which is that's where he was, because he wasn't in freeze, he was in fight or flight. And so he's running from where he was fighting for the new ideas. So this is literally the brain is in a fight or flight when you're having this conversation. At that moment, when the body feels fight or flight, when that triggered inside of the body, when you saw his emotion his body get emotional, get frustrated, get agitated, get all of that stuff, literally in the brain went into overload. The brain went into overdrive, and all of the neural connections at the ends of the synapse went from about 1,300 connections per synapse to about 2,600. His ability to think in new ways doubled. Now, if it's not revisited within 24 hours, you lose about 70% of that capability. So my suggestion to you would be today or soon is to send him a text saying, hey, thank you for our conversation. I loved watching you expand your capability. Whatever it was that he did well, remind him that he did that well. Because otherwise, if we don't send that text, if we don't activate that, it doesn't have to be everything you talked about, just a couple of key points. And I would separate them. I would send 2 or 3 texts to him over the course of a 5 to 10 minute window. Why? Because that triggers the emotion, because you can replay the entire evening in 3 texts.
yeah.
Right? So I would
Yes,
do
sir.
that. Send one, give it a space so that he can play the story, send another one, plays the story up to that point. Doesn't have to be logical, doesn't have to be in order, doesn't have to be chronological. Just send some different things, some different high energy points to where it made sense for him, to where he felt engaged, because now you got to relive. How much time did you spend with him?
Oh boy, we were out there probably 3 hours, I think 4 hours, three
So
hours.
in 3 texts, you can spend 3 hours. And in 3 texts, you can spend 3 hours that you were with him, and the time he spent the rest of his evening wondering, doubting. Because as soon as you left him, his old story came back in a vengeance.
Oh yeah. I told him this was gonna happen. I told him you're gonna have a lot of just rejection from within. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you'll see what I
And
mean.
so tell him that you got to brag. Listen, I doubt anybody's ever bragged on him. Say, I got to brag on you with some pretty cool people this morning. They don't know your name or anything else, but I got to brag about a story of a friend that I really learned some new things about.
I'll leave you with two things.
Okay.
Primarily, I think he's on a good track because he's coming up to the boiling point that he is having enough to do the job and everything. And then secondly, I said that I'm gonna take on the responsibility of being the Barnes to your Edison. So this is me just doing the Lord's work out there
There you go.
for
It's
you. So
awesome.
thank you.
And
This
again,
was huge.
you are welcome, because the key is it wasn't hard, was it?
You know what? It wasn't. I felt a lot of passion while I was talking. I mean, I just felt so passionate about my answers and about this whole conversation that it was just so effortless. And you know what? At one point, I felt as if I was just pulling stories out of my behind. Just like, I mean, they were just coming to me like that. They were just, you know, they're just coming to me just sideways, head on, from below, from above me. I mean, from everywhere. And I just bombarded them with information. And I'm gonna reach out to him today.
Cool. Love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. What a joy to hear that story. I can't wait to meet him. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Silke, good morning. She might be finding her mute button. She might be coming back from getting a cup of coffee.
No, no coffee yet. Good morning.
Good
Now, I
morning.
was working on something else, and yes, I had to find my unmute button because I had made the window small. So when you called on me, I had to get back to unmute. Yes.
Sure.
So, how are you this morning?
Outstanding.
Yes, I saw your posts. Well, at least two of them. I don't know how many you did.
20.
You did 20 posts yesterday,
Yes.
but funny, I only saw two of them.
Sure.
So that seems to be an issue. I didn't do 20 also because I came across a lady's post and she said in the past she used to post like a lot every day, so she got more interaction, of course, more people seeing her things, but it did not translate into more profits for her at all. So she got more people but not more profits. So I wanted to talk to you about that.
Right.
uh, yes, why that would be, and am I wasting my time in ending up like her?
Well, the reason she got more people is because listen carefully. If she got more people, that meant people were interested in what she's got, right?
Yeah, or what she was posting. I don't know
Right.
what she was posting.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever she was posting, and if somebody said, I want some of that, what happened on the next interaction that created no profit was that wasn't able to give the next level of service. So if you want to go get a lot of people to run around, say my hair's on fire, run around in a I don't know, in a dress with flowers on it. I don't know. But it's easy to get people. It's easy to get eyeballs. Everybody's looking. That's called distraction. It's easy to be a distraction. The reason she got no profit is because she couldn't be an attraction. It's just that simple. I don't like to go to Walmart, but it's the only one here. It kind of attracts you when you're the only one, right? So it has an attraction. So she was a distraction. And this is key. At some point, you got to become an attraction, because otherwise you're a distraction, and you can be a distraction. How many of us complain about social media? We scroll, we like it, we click, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of it, we go, it's a distraction. But it's really an attraction away from your goals, away from your dreams, away from your wants and your wishes. So this woman who says, oh, I did that and it didn't work for me. Oh, it worked for you. You got people. It's your responsibility to give the next level of service to get more profit. Nobody wanted to buy from you. They wanted to be distracted by you, but they didn't want to buy from you because their stories weren't about providing value. They were a distraction. And if your stories are about bringing value, then the people who show up become profitable.
Okay, so what she was posting, do you think was things that didn't relate to her business, or they related and somehow?
They could have been, but here's the thing is that the reason it didn't turn into profit is because nobody wanted to buy. She was selling. She wasn't telling a story. She gave a fact. Somebody goes, that's important. I need to learn that. And then when they realized there was a cost to learn whatever it was she was talking about, whatever it was, the vibe she was putting off, she did a great job of getting attraction, getting people to be distracted enough. Because here's the thing. If I'm going out, when I go onto YouTube and I have a conversation on YouTube and somebody finds it and they stay more than 2 minutes, I've distracted them from what they were doing. Every time we go to sell something, we are I don't care if the appointment is set. We are a distraction. The question is how fast can you take the distraction, turn it into attraction, and then provide value that somebody says, I got to have that. She couldn't do that based upon what she said. If she said, I got people and it never made profit, she couldn't sell them on what it is she does. That's the only reason you can't make profit is you can't sell it. And sales is a transference of enthusiasm.
So she is saying that, well, okay, so because she said it was a waste of her time.
Sure. But how is it getting more people? If you want more people and you got that, how is that a waste of your time? She either got the wrong people because of what she was posting. She got to get the right people. So she knows how to get people.
Yeah, but she wanted sales.
Well, then why didn't
Well,
she tell?
I'm sure she wanted more people because she equated more people with more sales,
Sure,
and
but
hence
she didn't
with more
sell.
profit. Right. So that's why she's saying it was a waste of time.
Sure, but it wasn't a waste of time. It's only a waste of time if you're not willing to learn. So if she never wants to grow her business, then it was a waste of time. But if she's still in business, it's not a waste of time. But saying it's a waste of time is a way for her ego to say, I'm better than that. I can do it another way. Okay. Nothing is ever a waste of time. Nothing. Even when things fail tragically, they're not a waste of time.
Well, she said now she does it differently. I didn't continue reading. It was just it attracted me to why she was saying that posting more
So
was
it
a
did
waste of
work.
time. So I wanted to speak to you about that before I wasted my time as well.
Yeah, so it did work. You know why? Because you said that you just said a phrase. I'm doing it differently now. So it worked perfectly. It produced the results she didn't want. It wasn't a waste of time. She chose not to waste her time in the future by doing it differently. So it worked perfectly. That's the thing that cracks me up when people say stuff like that. It didn't work. I'm doing it different now. It worked perfect. Could you imagine if it didn't work and you were still trying to do this, put people, I need to get more people. I need to get more people. I need to get more, and I can't turn it into profits. That'd be silly to keep doing it the wrong way. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. So it worked great. You got to go with the intention. What is your intention? When somebody sees this piece of media, don't have throwaway content. One of my traditional business mentors said, you've got a lot of throwaway content.
What does that mean?
So I said, what does that mean? He said, I can take it or leave it. Don't have throwaway content. Don't ever have a message that they can't go find more information on you. Don't ever have a place if they go Google you, they can't Google you. Because everybody's going to Google you if you're of any value. They're going to Google you. What do you do? And then they're going to see, oh, join my nutritional business. Oh, they're just trying to get me into network marketing. What's the value you bring somebody? What's your resume? You've heard me tell the story, a 2-minute video on words create momentum. I got that from a send out cards event years ago. And a Chinese company, the president of a Chinese company saw that and he said, I want that guy at my business. 25th largest network marketing company in the world in Tianjin, China.
And why did he want you?
Because he saw a 2-minute video that
Oh,
I
yes.
put up.
Yeah, I remember you sharing that before now.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
And that was all he needed.
And what was the video about?
Words create momentum. That was it.
So what did you say about that?
I said words create momentum.
That's all
I don't
you said?
remember. It was a decade ago.
Oh, okay. Because that would have been a good video. Keep reposting.
Oh, it's still there.
It was.
It's still on my page. It's still on my YouTube page.
Oh, okay.
But it only made sense to him. Other people saw it. Nobody else spent 70 grand to get me to their company to speak. Other people saw it. To him, it happened to be the right place at the right time for the right thing. And he said, that's what I want.
Yes. So basically, what you're saying is the more people that look at things, you might get lucky.
Well, it wasn't luck. It was
Be the
the right
golden
thing.
corn
Yeah.
in that person. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I know. But that's posting content. Imagine if I never posted that content. I wouldn't know I missed out on an opportunity to go to China to speak to 600 people. Well, it was probably 180 people in my group.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't do it with the intent. Oh, I got to put this up for that Chinese company that's looking for me.
No, because you didn't know it was looking for you.
Didn't know it was looking for me. So how many of us are resisting putting up content because we don't know that somebody's looking for us?
Well, so with the travel, I mean, people that travel would be looking, right? So what exactly, in my case, I mean, you see what I put up, or maybe you
Right.
or you also don't see it. I don't know because we don't always see each other's things
Right.
unless we make the effort to go to that person's page, and we
Right.
usually don't do that. So I don't know if you've seen any of I did post more yesterday, but then I came across her thing and I stopped. So I shouldn't just, yeah, because she's very successful in network marketing.
Okay. Is she in travel?
No.
Oh, then why would you think her business model works for you? Is she a German lawyer?
No.
Okay, so then why do you think her business model works for you? Does she have a dog named Lola Bean?
I don't think she even has a dog.
Then her model doesn't work for you. It's a model you can use, but to say, oh, because she didn't work for her, it won't work for me. That's crazy.
No, I didn't say because no, that's not. I'm not that crazy. Thank you very much.
Okay.
No, but it
It influenced you.
caused me to stop and think
Yeah,
to have the conversation with you.
Yeah, but why would you stop? Why wouldn't you keep going and saying, listen, I kept going. Should I keep going? You stopped right away as soon as you found an easy way to stop. Imagine if her post read, oh my God, I did this and it worked so great. Would you have kept going?
Yes,
Okay,
probably because it would or maybe I wouldn't even read it, because this is just a change I was making yesterday after getting off the call with
Yep.
you. So I wanted to silently participate in that,
Sure.
because I always want more people to look at my thing. So then this pops in my head. You know, it's weird when, and this happens with most things. When you talk about them, then suddenly things appear. Yes, and you don't, maybe before I never really noticed, but now I do notice, and I even point that out to other people when it happens for other people. It's very interesting.
Very
Uh,
interesting.
yes. So that's why I stopped and I thought, well, I'm going to have this conversation with you this morning, and ask.
So here's what I know.
Yes.
If you set a goal to go participate silently and quietly and to go do the work because you want more people, if
Yes,
a
I want
post
more people that convert.
right, so put up conversations that are converting conversations. Talk about stories of people who went on the trip with you to Machu Picchu had never been? What was it like to go to a place you've never been? What was the experience? Because here's the conversion. If they hang out with you or anyone who's on a mission to have more, the question is that everyone is about to experience that, well, it won't work for me. And you get to tell this story. I got influenced by a post I saw where somebody said, well, that didn't work for me. And I stopped. How many of you are wanting to go on your dream trip, but soon as you see the price, or you got to figure out the tickets, or you got to figure out the transports between the hotel, you stop. Your dream is right there. You have the time, you have the money, but because there's some confusion, you stop. Because there's somebody that you trust that says, oh, that's not a fun trip, you stop. I'd like to be the person who helps your dreams come true, helps your trips come true. I'm not getting, listen, I am not your travel agent, but I can encourage you and make sure that you get the best price, you get the best service, right? That's what you just experienced yesterday to this morning is exactly what every one of your prospects is going to experience. I want to travel. Who doesn't want to travel? Everybody wants to travel, but they think travel is expensive. They think there's no way they could ever get the deals that you get. They think there's no way that they could afford to invest a little bit monthly into their business and into themselves to wind up with a trip in 18 months for free, for no fee, for
Well,
whatever.
12 months, not 18.
Whatever.
But I mean, yeah, but people.
So that's the conversion.
Yes.
Who's willing to take their dream trip in 12 months? Mostly no fee.
Right.
That's different than join my travel business. How can you remember mirror window? It's you posting all of the wonderful trips you do, mirror. They look in the mirror and they go, my life doesn't look like hers. The question is can you show them a window that they can have a life like yours? Too many people say, hey, listen, I could run around going, I have a 30-acre ranch. I have sheep. I have a beautiful bride. I have an incredible 25 plus year marriage. I have an incredible son who's in senior. I could brag a lot about all of the things I have. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So that's the mirror. When I had the post,
but I think that's different because that would mean people literally need to step into your life. But with travel, I think it's more broader.
No, it's not.
No,
hang on. Understand the psychology. You need to understand the psychology of the brain.
Okay.
If I see you on a trip to Machu Picchu, what's the first thing I would say if I don't travel? I'll never be able to do that. I don't care how good it is, how fun it is, how much it is, how easy it was. If I see you traveling and you keep posting all of these wonderful pictures about you traveling and holding the little llama or the alpaca and all of this stuff, somebody's going to go, I'll never do that. And it shuts them down because they think, Machu Picchu, where the hell is that? It's in Peru. How do I get to Peru? I'll never even go there. I don't have a passport. And all of a sudden, what the brain does is it justifies why you are stuck where you're stuck. It does that, right? Just like I said, the mirror window, and you're like, well, I think travel's different. Your brain is stuck on thinking that if I just show them travel, they'll want to go. That's not an inspiration.
Because I guess that's
how you were trained.
No, well, not necessarily, but that's how I look at things.
That's how you were trained.
For instance, there's this couple that's traveling right now.
Right.
I don't know, somewhere in the South Pacific, I think it is. I mean, I forgot, but they posting all these amazing pictures. So I'm thinking I want to find a man and also go take that trip. So
Right, that's how you're.
I probably think I want to. Because it works for me that way. I'm thinking, well, it would probably work for other people that way as well.
So 75% of your audience will never agree with you. So you're either going to upset all of them and get your 25% niche, or you can learn how to speak to the whole audience and have those who are not like you join you.
Yeah,
That's the only thing. It's human nature. It's understanding human capability and capacity. There's 25% of the marketplace is just like you. The other 75% is not like you and will never be like you. They can join you, but they'll never be like you. Your gift is to be able to, how do you become a chameleon to match their frequency so they can join you? Doesn't mean you got to change.
So how do I do that?
You got to give them a chance. Well, you got to give them a chance. When I say tell a story behind it, you're like, that's a lot of work. I don't want, I'll just post.
No, I didn't say that's a lot of work. I mean, I'm willing to do that.
But your results show that you haven't. This isn't the first time I said window and mirror, mirror and window. You're like, okay, yeah, but I forgot it. So it's not important. I get it. No big deal.
No, but maybe I simply don't understand how to do it.
Okay.
Maybe that's the issue.
Well, it's about telling a story behind it. Because if you listen, you're an attorney. If I leave the jury to their own, if we just state a couple of facts about the defendant and the plaintiff, don't we have to go into more detail to make sure the jury sees it? Can't we object to things when somebody says, well, that's leading the witness, and the court has certain rules that says that. Do you realize when you post, you are leading the witness to say, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough money? Well, that's not what I mean. No, that's why you got to have a judge like me that says you're leading the witness down to failure. That's why they don't respond. You're literally triggering in their brain going, I'll never be able to do that. But that's not what I wanted to do. I know. You've got to bring them along on the trip. I remember my first trip. I remember my first whatever the story is. I don't know what you want your legacy to be, but posting pictures, you're not Instagram, you're not Google. You're Silke Carpenter, who has an incredible business opportunity and is an incredible business partner, but you're leaving people, nobody ever knows, nobody ever gets far enough to learn all of that because they look at your picture and say, I'll never do that. Or they'll say things like, well, that's stupid. Why would you want to do that? You're like, what do you mean that's stupid? It's the most greatest thing to ever go do and blah, blah, blah. It's really, that's how human nature is. And you can defend it. You can argue it. It is just as black and white. We haven't changed in 200,000 years. I say up, your brain goes down. I say in, you say out. We live in this binary world. And when you have, you're going to wind up with a lot of people who are the have-nots. They want to have, but they're not willing to work. They're not willing to change. They're not willing to do what you did. And saying you could do this is even more of a...
So why does it work for other people?
Doesn't work for other people. They don't do it that way. They don't just post pictures and everybody loves them. There's a lot of other things they're doing. And it's their frequency. It's literally their frequency. It's their energy when they post it. It's their energy. What are you looking to get when you do this? What's the value you're looking to give when you post? Oh, look at my, there's some people I know when they post their success. Oh, look, I advanced 2 ranks. Well, who cares? I had 35 people join my business in the last year because I'm not even sure why. They got value from the product and they love doing what they do, and their health got better, their life got better. And people are like, I want some of that. It's how do you tell the story?
I always think the pictures tell the story, but perhaps
they do,
that
but
isn't.
You're absolutely right. The challenge is that the story you tell about the picture is different than the story they tell about the picture. You're absolutely 100% right. Pictures do tell the story. But the challenge is they're not telling the story of you as the experiential story of being a part of it. They're telling the story of, look, my life sucks. I'll never be this good. You're 100% right. Pictures tell the story.
Wow, I still have a lot to learn. It really concerns me.
No, why should it concern you? You're a genius. You're a genius learner. The challenge with learning is, what do we unlearn? That's the hard part. It's not learning. Learning's easy. Learning the right stuff is easy. Unlearning all of the stuff that don't work is called identity crisis. I don't want to do that. That's boring. I don't want to do that. Okay. Let me know how that works out. It's a challenge until Jim Rohn's favorite word. Until I don't know if it was her favorite word. I always say it's his favorite word because he used to emphasize it. Until
what?
Until you learn it, until you shift, until you decide to give up the old story. It's everything is tough until it's not tough. Bob Proctor used to say, do the thing until you don't have to do the thing, which means do it, learn it, chip away at it until it's no longer a have to, it's a get to. Mason has to go feed the sheep. I get to go feed the sheep. Why is it different? Because and I'm like, I get to go, I get away, I get to go sit down. I love sitting down in the field and having Zorro come over and Anura comes running over. Mason likes that. He loves that. Once he's up there with them, he loves it. But he has this mental block that you got to take the garbage out. Ugh, I got to go pick up the garbage. Listen, we got garbage. You know how lucky we are to have garbage? Oh, you're just nuts, Dad. I know. Change the way you look at things and things you look at. Do you know how many people don't have garbage in the world? They're so impoverished, they don't even have garbage. We have a garbage can. You know how many people in the world don't have a garbage can? You know how many people don't have a 600-foot driveway to drag that garbage can down? Ugh. And I know it aggravates the bejeebies at him. So two things. I say it, one, because I know it'll agitate him, but I'm also setting a seed that he realizes how blessed he is and change the way you look at things.
So he never asks you that, since you love it so much and you find it so exhilarating to do that, that why are you not doing it and why does he
Because
have
I'm
to
your
do
dad
it?
and I get to give you orders. Next.
Oh, well, that wouldn't work for me, but I would make that argument. Hey, if
Oh,
you love it so much, you do it. I'm not going to do it.
oh, well, then you don't then you don't belong here, because that's part of living on the ranch. There's just simple rules. There's rules, and then there's requirements. And one of the rules is you meet the requirements. And the requirements are you got to do work on the ranch. So yeah, I don't, whether you like it or not, you don't like it, leave.
Well, he doesn't have to live there. He's an adult. He could
He
just
is an
get
adult.
himself an apartment, right?
Absolutely. And
Well,
I'd give you $100 the day he leaves. I'll never have to give you $100.
you're going to give me $100 the day he leaves? Well, he might find himself a woman
Hey, God
and
willing,
and
I'm
kick it
having
there.
I'm having a feeling that he'd be quite excited for us to build the house next door so that he could just stay here.
And keep taking out the garbage. But I mean, it's almost universal that guys don't seem to like to take out the garbage. It's the same here with at my house, and it's always been like that because we always assigned the garbage to the men. We
Yep.
never assigned the garbage to the women.
Right. Why? Because it's a messy job and women shouldn't do messy things. And I'm all for that. I'm all for chivalry. When Michelle wants to take the garbage out, I get on the phone and I go, I don't care, give a rat's butt what you're doing, Mason. You do not make mommy drag the garbage can down. But Michelle says, but I want to do it. It's exercise. No, there's things that he needs to understand chivalry. And you just don't have a woman grab garbage.
Oh, that's a good thing to teach him. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the woman he ends up with is really going to appreciate that from you.
And she's going to love his cooking capabilities.
Oh, he cooks.
Oh, yeah. He cooks great. He cooks dinners almost every night for us.
Oh, wow. That's very nice.
Yeah. He's a good cook. He's just bordering on chef the way he makes things up. It's kind of cool.
Wow. That is awesome. I'll have to come back and taste his cooking one of these days.
Yep. I love it, love it, love it.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will work on, yeah, I I think I write things, but they not maybe attracting
So
everybody I
here's
want to
here's
attract.
what I would suggest, if you would like my assistance.
Yes, you know I like your
Yes, but don't ask me again.
assistance.
Don't ask me next. What would you say? Give me a response so I can help your brain learn how to take on my brain. So what would you respond to this? No, give me your response, your first take at it, and then I can help you adjust that. But
Well,
until
I always just want your brain.
I know, but you can't get my brain, so you've got to build it in yours. So you just take a statement, take a first stab at it, and we can adjust it. So if anybody wants that, if anybody has a picture they want to put up or a post they want to put up, give me your post, give me the intention that's behind it, and I can help you tweak it. But I can't go, well, what would you say to that? And I do it to show you. So now you've got enough experience of what I've done and how I've done it, the 20 or so kind of different comments. You're gonna, okay, so I'll take my first stab at it. And I can promise you, and I say this to AJ and I say it to Selena and to everybody else, first one's gonna be the worst one.
Well, I've
And
heard
you
you
got to
say
start
that
there.
many times.
Yep. So there you go, ladies and germs.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody go have an amazing, wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Same bat channel, same bat time. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling. Find your mission misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
Next
At the
event.
next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us all.
Yes.
Be with us all. And the queen of helping you understand specialized knowledge, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss
Bosley.
We love you, girl. And little white fluffy.
Gurgly,
Gurgly,
gurgly.
gurgly.
All right, everybody, go have some fun. I love you tons. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. See you.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Sean.